We're now joined by Irfan Razack, who's of course a CMD at Prestige Group and one of the well-known faces from that market. Mr. Razack, good morning. Thanks a lot for joining us. Are you seeing on the ground this play out? Have rates started to move up?
Actually, it's been happening the last 3-4 quarters. The demand has there's a big uptick in demand. People are committing themselves, people are buying homes. And of course, with the input cost increasing, with the cost of all commodities that go into construction going up, obviously the price also has to go up proportionately. At the same time, we are not very keen that the price goes up so high that it becomes unaffordable. What with interest rates also gone up some 1.4 basis points. We are trying to see that we keep the numbers as affordable as possible, and at the same time see that our bottom line doesn't get affected. So that's the balance that we keep working on, and I'm sure we have achieved that. But the good news is the demand is there, and the demand continues to be there.
Mr. Razack, good morning. So when you say demand is there, can you give us some numbers on what the collections could look like? On an average, you have been doing, collections of around 2,200 crores per quarter. Could it be outsized gains over the next few quarters because of this pickup that we're seeing in demand?
It's a function of sales, and then it's a concurrent to that is also the collections that go on. Both are good. See, last quarter, I think we did the highest sales in a quarter. That's 3,000 plus crores. And I'm sure we are just in the beginning of September. By the end of this month, we should reach the same target that we had done in the previous quarter, or maybe exceed that a bit. And obviously, the collections also will be proportionate to that. So the overall atmosphere and the mood is pretty positive. And I am sure that the teams are working to see that we get in more inventory. Now, the biggest problem that we are facing is the shortage of inventory. Though we have land, we have projects, but then without approvals, without RERA, we can't launch them. So obviously, these products will come into the market as and when the approvals come in, as and when the RERA approvals come in. So this quarter we have managed without those, but then definitely for sure we'll have a lot more new products coming in the coming quarter.
Mr. Razack, hi, good morning. Prashant here. The national headlines over the last couple of weeks were with regards to the rains in Bangalore, right? And how sort of good weather by itself, and that's been such a large lure for a city like Bangalore, right? Would you, into your mind, I mean, do you see, and one of the refrains has been that there's been maybe too much unplanned construction which has happened, and no way for the water to go. And in many cities, it's like an annual event. I mean, there is a lot of hullabaloo for a couple of weeks, and then people forget all about it. But from a policy perspective, any changes which are expected? I mean, just your view on it, sir.
Yeah, I do believe that, it's flooding and heavy rains are a natural calamity. This year, we've had unprecedented rains in the month of August as well as beginning September. Fortunately, last few days, we are dry. And rightly said, whenever that happens, everybody wakes up and there's a lot of noise everywhere, including the social media everywhere. People start cribbing about it, and then suddenly it's forgotten. But that's not the solution. The solution is that we need to see where the problem lies. And, the first thing that happens is the developers or the builders are the ones who become the bad guys. But we are not the bad guys. We build as per law, as per rules, as per whatever the framework that is present. And nobody has the gumption to either approve, which is out of the law. And I don't think anybody will be stupid enough to build anything that is outside the framework of law. But then, having said that, I think we as responsible citizens, along with the bureaucracy as well as the local politicians, what we need to do is we need to sit together and see how solutions can be brought on a permanent basis, that even if there's very heavy rainfall, there's proper drain off there's proper water flow into the lakes and all of that, and there's no blockage and other stuff which is being talked of. I think if we really, really work on it it can't happen instantly, but if a thought process happens in the next 6 months and next 1 year, 2 year, we can definitely mitigate this risk. And there should be no flooding in the city. The city is good. People are responsive. People are responsible. And I'm sure that if we work together as a team, we can definitely achieve results.
Absolutely no doubt about that, Mr. Razack. I think perhaps the best metro city that we have in this country by a mile. Okay, now tell us, since you operate in so many segments, what's doing the best? Is it the pure, residential real estate, commercial real estate, lease rentals? What kind of markets doing best for you?
No, we are fortunate as a company to be operating in all asset classes and also all geographies. So the good news is, while residential has been doing extremely well in the last few quarters, the hospitality, retail, as well as office also, there's an uptick. Especially hospitality, last 2 quarters has done very well. And all the hotels that we are operating have given us great revenues. And of course, when it means great revenues, it also means better bottom lines. And so also office, there's a lot of stock that is getting also built, but there is an offtake, and the vacancy levels are single digit, maybe 3 to 4%. So that helps the cause. And good properties in good locations are getting leased out rapidly. And the rentals also are going northwards. It's not as though they're stagnant or there's a lot of bargain that goes on the rental part. And retail, yes, there is a lot of shopping that happens, a lot of trading is happening. Though most of our one big chunk of our retail malls, as you know, we've already hived off to Blackstone. But we do operate a few which are left over, plus a lot of new ones are coming up. Like now, the largest mall which we are in our portfolio is getting ready and should open its doors shortly. That's the Prestige Falcon City Mall. And then also a Kochi Mall, which is both are almost 1 million plus square feet. So that will help the cause. And there's a lot more coming up, but retail is done well. So if you take it, retail, hospitality, office have picked up. Residential was always doing well in the last few quarters. So all in all, it's a happy moment for us. We do hope that there's no new surprises. And as long as things are
Mr.
remain
Razack?
constant, I think we shall be actually doing better and better.
Sure. So can you give us one number? I mean, you launched about 17 million square feet in FY22. What is the target for FY23?
I think it will be about the same or a little more, because I think the next 2 quarters is all about launches. We are working hard to get the approvals and the RERA, and we've got across geographies, whether it's Bangalore, whether it's Chennai, whether it's Hyderabad, or even we've got a project now in Calicut. So all these put together, there will be several launches that will happen. And this will actually outstrip the numbers that we have done the previous year. I don't want to just give you a number because it's a function of when we get all these approvals in place. But I think the team is really working hard to see that it happens. And most of them are mature, that reach almost the final stage, and we should see some good traction on that.